Hi, my name is Imprint, and today I'll show you how to find a trial chamber using only the debug pie chart. I designed this method today, and it is quick, effective, and can allow you to find a trial chamber even within minutes of creating a new world. The first thing we're going to want to do is, create a new world or go into an existing one. I'm going to create a world in creative, although this is obviously doable in survival. And once we're there, we are going to open up the pie chart by pressing F3 plus 1. Right after we do this, we're going to look for the word tick, and we're going to press the number right next to it. For me, it's 3, but for you, it could be something else. Right after that, we'll do the same with the word level, so 1 for me, and then block entities, which for me is 3. This pretty much tells us the amount of block entities that we're loading within our render distance. So as soon as the world ends loading for me, I am loading a chest, a mob spawner, and a trial spawner. Now, in order to know that you're loading a trial chamber, you need to be loading either a trial spawner, vault, or both, because these blocks only ever spawn in those. Now, I know, due to this pie chart, that within the 12 chunks that I am loading, there is a trial chamber. However, I do not know how far away it is or in which direction. So, first of all, we're going to stay absolutely still, and we're going to lower our render distance all the way down to 2. After this, we're going to double tap F3 to reset our pie chart. This is really important. And as you can see, we are no longer loading the trial chamber. So in order to figure out how far away it is, I am going to increase my render distance slowly one by one. As you can see, from the position I'm standing on, my render distance needs to be at least 12 in order to load the trial chamber. This means that the trial chamber itself is exactly 12 chunks away. Now all we need to find out is the general direction at which it is. So in order to do this, we're going to, first of all, press F3 plus G in order to turn on chunk borders, and after that, we're going to go to video settings. Well, first make sure to stay within this chunk that you're standing in, and then go to options and subtract 1 from the minimum amount of chunks you need to load the trial chamber, which in my case we already agreed is 12. So 12 minus 1 is 11. Now, once we're in that position, we double tap F3, and we are just 1 chunk shy from loading the trial chamber. So if we move 1 chunk away from the chunk we're currently standing on, we should be able to find the general direction it is in. So I move here and nothing loads, so it's not in here. So it's not in this direction. Same for here. But once I move this direction, the trial spawner has been loaded again. So this is how I know this is the general direction the trial chamber is going to be in. So I move back to my original chunk, set my render distance back to 12, and without counting the chunk I'm standing on, I'm going to travel 12 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, the trial chamber could be in any of the nearby chunks over here. We could dig down one by one, but that would take an eternity. So instead of doing that, we are going to, pretty much do the same thing all over again. Render distance down to 2, and double tap F3, please don't forget that, and then slowly increase your render distance one by one until you load the trial spawner and or vault again. Now, my render distance had to be at least 10 this time. So, in order to figure out which direction it's in, I do the same thing again. 10 minus 1, 9. Double tap. Is it this direction? No. So, it must be that direction. Yes. So, what I do now is I go back to that chunk, set my render distance back to 10, and travel 10 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you're there, you should be able to, first of all, press F3 to close your pie chart, render distance down to 2, and once you're in a position in which you're both at 2 chunks of render distance and also loading a trial chamber in your pie chart, you should try to position yourself in what I call a chunk corner. This is complicated to explain, but it's easy to understand, so please pay attention. So what you're going to want to do is move 1 chunk away, or a few chunks away, And each and every time you go out of a chunk, you should refresh your pie chart by double tapping F3, just like I do. I move out of the chunk, and I refresh my pie chart. You should do this as many times as necessary until you stop loading the trial chamber. So as you can see, I am just one chunk shy from loading the trial chamber now. As a matter of fact, this chunk I'm looking at right now would load the trial chamber. So what I want to do is move to the chunk right next to it. So one chunk diagonally. I'm going to shoot at it right now. Okay, so if you move into this chunk and you're still loading the trial chamber, what you should do is pretty much repeat the process. It also doesn't matter which direction you do this in. I could have done this to the left too. So it didn't work. It didn't work because I'm still loading the trial chamber. So I go out. I refresh my pie chart by double tapping F3. And I'm still loading the trial chamber. Go out. And as you can see, I have finally found my chunk corner. As you can see, if I go in here, nothing happens. Nothing happens in here either. But if I go to that one, I load the trial chamber. So what I'm going to do is go to my chunk corner, double tap F3 to refresh the pie chart once again. And once you're in this position, you're going to look at the chunk that would load the trial chamber diagonally, like I'm doing so. And starting from this chunk specifically, you're going to count exactly 4 chunks diagonally, just like I do. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you've done everything correctly, then congratulations. You should be able to dig down this chunk and find your trial chamber. And if you don't believe me, I am pretty sure I can... Yeah. 12 chunks, spectator mode. And as you can see, there is guaranteed to be a trial chamber somewhere within this chunk. If you're worried you're going to miss the trial chamber, just turn subtitles on. As you can see, when a trial spawner crackles, you can also hear sounds from vaults or stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you made it here, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you out, and if you have any doubts, please leave them down in the comments. I'm sorry if I didn't explain myself correctly, or if I stuttered or something. This is my very first time making a tutorial. But excuses to be lame aside, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you some other time.